Alrighty guys, good morning and welcome to day 19, I think. I'm pretty sure, day 19. So I am going to go, I got about 4 hours of sleep last night, which, you know, not any big surprise. I usually look like I'm exhausted all the time. Whatever, it just is. But anyway, so I got a little bit of sleep last night, and my husband is super tired because he also, well, he's probably going about 5.5 to 6 hours at this point. Yeah, about 6 hours at this point. So anyways, I told him to go back to bed. I'm going to do my confidence interval fitness machine thing for half an hour and get that out of the way for the day before I shower. And then if I have a chance, I'm going to exercise with him later. That's just I'm hopeful that I'll have a chance to do that later. If I don't, that's fine. Because I imagine that I'm going to definitely make the lasagna this afternoon, but if I can find lasagna noodles. Yeah. I don't know if I'm probably gonna end up taking a nap this afternoon, so we'll see if I get any exercise in later. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to go do my exercise machine and take a shower and get ready for the day, and maybe in about a half hour, 45 minutes, my boys will start getting up because we were up real late, especially for them because they go to bed real early. But anyways, I'm gonna go take care of a little bit of exercise for the day, get my day started right, I guess, and I'll talk to you later. Alrighty guys, so I was successful this morning. We went over to, took one of my kiddos and we went over to one of the grocery stores, and we're able to find, this is the brand that I prefer, the Tinkyata. Usually the box is blue because I don't ever buy the organic one, but it happened to be this time that the organic version was cheaper than the regular version, so okay, whatever, I don't have a problem with that. So, lasagna. First of all, lunch. It's already been lunchtime, we've already eaten lunch, so we had leftover rice, and then I just felt the need to have vegetables because I haven't had as many vegetables recently as I was having before when I was doing the Eat to Live challenge. So I sauteed 2 onions, 3 zucchini, and a pepper. Yeah, that was it. On the stove with a little bit of soy sauce on it, and just served that over rice. My husband, one of my daughters, and I ate that for lunch. It was super tasty. So that was awesome. Lots of vegetables there. So lasagna. Here is there's the ingredients for the non-vegan lasagna. There are the instructions. You guys can do a snapshot of that real quick so you can have that if you want that. So first things first, there's a lot of ingredients in here that we're gonna have to alter. So we'll see how this goes. I think it's gonna turn out really well. I'm not 100% sure. So one of the first things you do is you mix some stuff together, and that becomes your layer that you put into the lasagna. So it calls for 3 cups of cooked cubed chicken. So I took some soy curls and I rehydrated them, and then I put them in my food processor, and now they're nice little shreds. So anytime you need a pulled pork-ish type thing, or you have anything along those lines, you can just go ahead and do this in your, I know that some people do it in their Vitamix. I don't have a Vitamix, and I tried doing this in I do have a high power blender. Didn't work out very well. So food processor, this worked really well. Okay, so there's 3 cups there, and I measured it. Ta-da! I actually measured something. What goes in here are, you're going to want to put some chilies in there, some green chilies. This particular green chili that we purchased is actually very spicy, so I'm only going to use half the can because it's actually quite strong. So I'm going to put half of the can of the diced chilies in there. It says to use a whole can. All right, so there's that. And then let's see, what else do we want? We want to put some garlic powder in there. I have granulated garlic instead of garlic powder, so that's just what I'm going to use. But it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, so there's a 1/2 teaspoon of that. It also calls for 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground cumin. I am just going to put in 1 teaspoon of ground cumin because A, I don't like cumin, and B, I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon measuring device. So there you go. All right. So there's that. Those are the spices. There's only 2 spices in here. It's pretty easy. Not too bad. Now, next thing, we're going to also put in there milk. So whatever kind of milk you prefer, I'm going to use some soy milk, just some organic soy milk. And it says 1/4 of a cup. So 1/4 of a cup, there we go. And then sour cream. So it calls for 8 ounces of sour cream. This is the type of sour cream that we buy, Tofutti. It is a 12-ounce container, but it is not full. It has been used, so I'm going to just dump the whole container of it in there. It should be very close to 8 ounces. It might be slightly shy of 8 ounces, but I'm really not too concerned about it, to be honest with you. So, got that in there. And then, this is the part where it's a little bit of a stretch to try and get the rest of the correct ingredients. So it calls for 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. I can make cream of just about anything soup, to be honest with you. I learned how to make vegan cream of whatever type soup. It's a lot of work, and I really wasn't interested in trying to do that with the poultry seasoning and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to be using, you need 20 ounces total, well, 21-ish ounces. I'm going to use 1 container of this vegan mushroom gravy, and I'm also going to use the leftover Instant Pot cheese sauce that I had made from, I don't think it's been too many days, like 3 days ago, 2 days ago. So I'm going to open this container, I'm going to pour the mushroom gravy in there, if I can get it open. There we go. I'm going to pour this in there, and then I'm going to put a whole bunch of the cheese sauce in there. This is actually going to be the perfect consistency for this. I'm actually kind of excited. I think this is going to work out really, really well. So I'm going to measure out an additional, an additional half cup of the cheese sauce to put in there, because it's a very good consistency. I think the flavor will be good. And then what I'm going to do to try to essentially make it so it's a little bit more chicken-y flavored-ish, kind of, is to put some poultry seasoning in it. So I'm going to add half of a tablespoon of poultry seasoning, and we'll see how that goes. I'm not 100% sold on whether or not that's going to work, but there's the poultry seasoning. So we're gonna do about a half a tablespoon of that. Alrighty guys, so that is what goes in your container that you will then mix together, and it's going to be the innards for your lasagna. The other things that are going to go into your lasagna, so there's one thing that I'm adding to this that is totally not in the recipe, but I'm putting it in there because I think it will taste delicious. It's a Mexican lasagna after all. I'm going to put in a bag, get this at Trader Joe's, it's roasted corn. I've had the chance to let this thaw, but I'm going to put the whole bag in there. Corn is awesome. Hang on a second. Yeah, it's a really big bag of corn. I'm going to put about over half of the bag of corn, but not the whole bag of corn. It's a really big bag of corn. Okay, so here is my insides to it. There you go. So that's what that looks like. I think that's actually going to turn out really, really well. I'm going to taste it really quick to make sure that I don't need to adjust the spices at all, but I don't think I'm going to. That's very good. I got a little hint of kick in there from those chilies. Very good. That's awesome. Okay. So when you go to put this together, that totally worked. So the vegan cheese sauce, sorry, my hands are dirty. The vegan cheese sauce that we made from the other day, that worked out really well. The mushroom gravy is great in there. It's nice creamy. It doesn't taste like mushroom at all, but. So you're going to need this mixture. You're going to need 8 to 10 chopped up onions, green onions, 3 cups of some type of cheese. I'm going to just use Daiya cheese, and I'm probably not going to use 3 cups. That's kind of a lot. You need to have, what else are you gonna put in here? It calls for cilantro or parsley. I don't have either. I personally can't stand cilantro, and I don't have fresh parsley. So no big deal, I'm just leaving it out. I'm going to have 1 pepper that I have yet to chop up. I'm going to chop this very finely. That goes in there. And then you're supposed to put olives in there. So I do have some chopped ripe olives. I will just sprinkle those in there. There's no chance I'm gonna use this whole can because that would be way too much olives for me. You're supposed to use a whole can. It's a 2.25 ounce can, so half of this size. I probably will use about that, to be honest with you. And then I'm going to very, 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 very finely, and in fact I might enlist my husband to do this for me, finely chop some kale to sprinkle in there, because I think that would be very good and very healthy. And if you get it really, really small, nobody's even gonna notice that's there other than it's pretty. So I'm going to continue to clean up my counter real quick and then show you, as soon as the noodles are done, they're not quite done yet. As soon as the noodles are done, I'm going to bring the camera down and show you putting this actually together. So stay tuned for that part. It's perfect the way that it is. It goes in the oven. It goes in there for at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And then you're supposed to crush up Doritos on top and top it with some cheese. So I am obviously not going to be, I couldn't find any kind of vegan Dorito-ish type thing. So I'm just gonna put some corn chips on top. I'm going to crush these up and sprinkle across the top, and then sprinkle the remainder of the, I guess I will end up using, well, I'll probably use about 2 cups of cheese by the time it's all said and done. So I'm gonna put the rest of the cheese on top. There won't be a ton of cheese on the top. And yeah, so that's how that works. So here's our beautiful lasagna. So we're gonna get that cooking in the oven in a little while, and I will show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven, when it's completely done with the chips on it and the cheese on it, and get it cooked. And you do cook it for a little while after you take it back out of the oven. So anyways, that's what that is gonna be, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Alrighty guys, so this looks absolutely delicious. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that it's going to taste delicious, but I'm gonna try it for you just to make sure. So it just came out of the oven. It's probably fairly hot still, but let's give it a try. Yeah, this is vegan comfort food at its finest, by the way. This is not healthy in any way, shape, or form, but anyway, this is gonna be delicious. I know it. Hot. Mmm. Yep. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that's delicious. Go ahead and try that. For sure. Oh my goodness, that's really yummy. All right, so you don't want to eat too much of this at any one point in time because it's not very healthy for you, but it is super, super good. And if you're trying to wow like some meat eaters out there and into thinking that they're eating something super spectacular when they're just eating all vegetable-based stuff, this is how to do it. Alrighty guys, I hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.